Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 4 of the Weeknight Warriors Sim Series. We are at Five Flags Speedway, and it is going to be a fun race here at the short track. Luke, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good out here, Kevin. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great, hoping everybody had a great holidays. We're back after a break with WWSS, and we are here at one of, if not the most fun tracks we're going to be at all season. It's going to be gritty, it's going to be hard racing, and I think we're going to have a very fun race ahead of us.
Yeah, I agree, Kevin. We got a pretty big field out here on the night. We'll get to some of the names here in just a moment. But we're looking, I believe, around. Let me take a brief check. We're looking at over 35 drivers on the night tonight, Kevin.
Wow.
We have a big field out here tonight for such a small track.
A full field for the fishbowl. It's going to be a fun one. You know, we can only pray that these cars can stay away from each other, though, Luke. I know, at least in the practice, we saw some contact being made, and I've got to
Yeah.
imagine that it is going to be very fun. As we're wrapping up qualifying, I see two cars still on the track as we're getting through it. But yeah, a huge field and a lot of good qualifying laps out here, with Nathan Carroll currently sitting at the top.
And just pulling up your top 20 there on the qualifying right now. Yeah, like you said, it's going to be Nathan Carroll there taking this one. Matt Moore going to be taking the third place. Kenny McCullough in P3 there, and Connor Price in 4. Ty Carino to round out the top 5 there so far. But there's still another 2 minutes out there. We got some guys that haven't put up times yet, so could be some late qualifiers out here, but I don't think I read anybody currently on the track.
Absolutely, and you know, I'd like to point out that there is no pending penalties coming over from last week, as far as I know. So it'll be a clean race of everybody, you know, just getting out there and driving. I know last week we saw a couple guys have to serve a drive-through off the rip. So, to my knowledge, none of that. But yeah, just looking forward to the race here tonight. How many laps do we got, Luke?
Let me take a gander. I think we have
Is that something I should know?
200 on the night. But
200
then
laps out
again,
here, 17-second
yeah, I
laps.
was going to say, even into the 16s for some of the guys up there in the top, which
Wow.
do not know how they're doing that. That is pretty impressive, to say the very least. But we're waiting for, I think we might have somebody out there. Yep, we got somebody out there qualifying. Who do we got?
The '04 of, I believe, Christopher McCullough out here now, turning laps. He's had a great season so far, sitting second on point standings.
And we're a little behind here, but
I was gonna say,
yeah,
it looks a little sped up.
we were a little behind there. He is absolutely moving, but currently I believe he is sitting I believe he's sitting at 6th. There it is. Man, no, he takes the 2.
Great lap for him.
Both of the McCullough is going to be starting up within the top 5. That sits us with 28 drivers here putting up a lap. So far, we have 36 drivers registered on the field right now, but only 28 have decided to qualify. I got to be honest, Kevin. I'm not too familiar here with Five Flags. What about you? You know anything about it?
You know, I watched some of the race. I watched a lot of the pit parties, I think they call it, that they were doing in the practice, kind of just getting a feel for that big pack racing. And it seems like kind of the exit of 2 and exit of 4, as we know, on a lot of these short tracks can get squirrely. But, you know, I'm kind of sitting with you where I don't know too much about it, don't know too much about the tire strategy. You know, it's not super flat, you know, so I'd imagine these guys are going to be able to carry a decent bit of speed. I mean, 17-second laps, obviously going to be able to carry some speed, but, you know, I think we're in for a surprise here as the qualifying wraps up and Nathan Carroll is going to be granted pole position here tonight.
And boy, look at that beautiful sunset, Kevin. Just taking a brief look here at our track right now. It was really hot in the qualifying and on the practice. It was at track temps at over 100. And I was a little worried, but it since cooled down here. It's been a couple hours, it looks like, out on the track. So Sun's starting to set. We're looking at an 80-degree track temperature out here tonight. It's 78 degrees in the air in the track. It's a beautiful August afternoon. Just a little bit of information about the track here. It's a little half mile down in Pensacola, Florida. I'm at, to give you a little bit of perspective on the heat down that way. So definitely a warm track out here regardless. So these guys definitely got to be careful on these exits and the entries of these turns, especially on these cold tires.
First pole of the night is now up. I'm setting the line a little bit high, 13.5 cautions is where the line is going to be set here for the pole, Luke. What do you think? You think an over or under 13.5 cautions here tonight?
Over the course of 200 laps, Kevin, I'm taking the over on that one. I saw the practice. I saw the practice. That's all I got to say.
You know what?
Stand by.
I will fade you, and I'll take the under.
I got hope, though. I got to say, I got hope for the guys out there. But my betting pocket's telling me to take the over. And, we got to figure out a way if there's like a, on Twitch how they have like the voting thing, like with the points and stuff.
Yeah.
I wish we could do something like that to be able to, incorporate that somehow. I think that'd be pretty sweet. But the grid results here are coming through as the guys are all taking the field. Guys are taking off, and the grid has come through.
I'm going to go ahead and rattle these names off as quickly as possible. Nathan Carroll on pole, Chris McCullough on his outside, Matt Morrison and Kenny McCullough second row, Connor Price and Ty Carino third row, DJ Norris and Nick Hames is the fourth row, and fifth row is going to be David McCullough and Garrett Hummel. Sixth row is going to be Blaze Billing and Kian Fry, Aiden Stevens and Danny Barnes, Aaron Wright and John Marino, Regan Shockley and Omar Rodriguez, Nolan Gross and Cooper Layardi, Kyle Van Drunen and Dawson Price, Justin Zemecki and Heath Job, Brad Slagle and Chad Strello, Buster Malcolm and Sean Merriman, Daryl Johnson and Jacob Petrosky, Nathan Swafford and Logan Murray, Jeffrey Bourne and Jeremy Osborne, and Hunter Azell and Houston Galena is going to round out your 36-car field for the evening. Whew.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on with the grid right now. It's being crazy on the screen. I don't know what is going on. Seems our software is going to be giving us a little bit of issues there, but I think we are all good, at least on the grid perspective. Pace car is going to be making its way in out here. And we got a big field, Kevin, and it's going to be a pretty good race, if I can tell. And they are green out here to get this
good
thing
jump
started.
There for the 63 of Nathan Carroll. So he's going to get out in front of the 04 of Christopher McCullough and have his preferred line.
Everybody
as
making it through
around.
turn one safely, as it seems. But Nathan Carroll, like you said, with a good jump there. Making their way into turn one. Everybody's still holding it together through the field. I gotta say, Kevin, with this being such a short track, we're gonna be putting up laps out here pretty fast, if I do say so. And I think pretty much
Absolutely.
just swapping between these cameras are probably gonna be our best bets. See your leaders making their way through, getting a bit of separation now. The guys are starting to kind of file into their grooves here.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see for these longer runs, and I think that's definitely what some of the guys up front of Carroll, McCullough, and Morrison all kind of want to see, is they can kind of dive into their own strategies as we see a little bit of contact there with the wall for a couple of the guys.
Top three there, Nathan Carroll, then Kenny McCullough, and the others. Christopher McCullough taking the P2 position there as well. But your front group staying pretty well together. A lot of two-wide racing behind your front two leaders, Nathan Carroll and Christopher McCullough. But behind them, it's going to be the start of two-wide, Kenny McCullough and Matt Moore.
And so far, I'm very
Gross,
impressed with how clean this racing's been.
Yeah, I
Oh,
gotta
and, well...
Well, the clock strikes as soon as we open our mouths, and I believe it is Brad Slagle who has possibly spawned out. We did receive word to start this race that it was gonna be a caution, regardless if it was a single car spin. So we know that that's
Yeah,
possibly what it was. So we might have our first case of a self spin out here tonight. Let's see what we got going on. He's in that tight 2-wide racing, and yep, just gets a little hot off the exit of 4. And that's just like I was saying earlier on in this race, Kevin. You know, you got to be careful early on in these cars, especially with the track temperature still being hot out here. I know it's not entirely, you know, crazy warm, but these tires still being as cold as they are, you really got to break it in before you can really start digging through these turns.
Absolutely, and unfortunate for him, I don't know how bad the damage is going to be here. Just taking a look at it, obviously, you know, yeah, that's a pretty good lick into the inside safer barrier there, but
overall,
at the same time,
doesn't look like the worst thing I've ever seen. I mean, we watch him rejoin the track.
Yeah, able to get rolling.
I imagine
again,
just, you know, take a good little
sign.
smack. These cars can take a good beating. You know, you gotta, especially on a shorter track like this. You know, the aero isn't the most important thing. You can kind of get away with a little bit of damage compared to like a super speedway. But
yeah, absolutely.
Regardless, bringing us back here to the group live. Nathan Carroll has caught up to the pace car, and everyone else filing in single file. We are going to be somewhere around lap 12, possibly to lap 13 here when we go green. Sipping on anything tonight, Kevin?
Nope.
No? That is unfortunate for you, my friend.
Maybe coffee here soon.
Wake up early?
Oh, you know. Haven't slept.
Well, fair enough. It is impressive, but everyone filing in 2 file now. I imagine we're going to be going green out here this next time by. It's going to be lap 12. Yep, light is off the pace car. Flagman's got the green flag in the air. We're going to be going green this time by. Here we go, once again, the field back together.
Good jump for Nathan Carroll again, just being able to clear Christopher McCullough before they even get near that flag there is putting him in a good position, but Chris McCullough
pretty wide in
also
some
not
areas.
having too much trouble kind of getting to his bumper as he's single file as well.
Boy, and we're seeing some 3-wide racing here right off the start, Kevin. These guys are wanting to make those position changes, and they're wanting to do it early. We can kind of get a better idea of where these guys are on the field out here when we take a look at this overhead.
Yeah, and you know, it's spread out, but at the same time, it's really not spread out. It's just such a small track. It looks spread out. Yeah, you can see Nathan Carroll getting some room already.
I see a lot of this 2-wide racing happening further back from this front group, and you can kind of see, you know, P1 and 2, you can really see how they're starting to run away now that they don't have that extra pressure around them. A lot of those guys, though, getting backed up significantly.
Nathan Carroll still out front here, but like you said, it seems like him and Christopher McCullough haven't figured out. And
we got a yellow flag.
Lap 18 here.
And I am reading it a big caution, Kevin. I'm reading a lot of drivers junked, and I'm reading a couple drivers junked. I'm reading a lot of drivers involved. From what it looks like, we have a lot of names to break down.
John Marino's backwards. You see Chad Strello making it through slowly.
So I think our best bet here, let's go ahead and take a look at our blimp overhead here. And I think we might be able to get a better idea of where this one starts. I think it happens, yep, just where I thought. Going into the entry of turn 3 right there. We see 2 cars sideways going right into the entry of 3. We see that stack up. A bunch of cars get caught up into the wall, and it's just a closed up field from there. There's nowhere for a lot of those drivers to go. We're gonna go back and take a look at where that one started exactly. So it looks like it starts right around John Marino.
Of John Marino kind of is in the thick of it here.
Ooh,
Or no,
it starts above him. He was definitely
ahead of
okay.
John Marino.
David McCullough was on the door of it. Let's see. Oh, see some kind of incident occur right there where two cars get sideways.
Yeah, McCullough and Barnes both go
Everyone
for a
tries
trip.
to avoid it. And,
we see.
Oh my
Heath
god!
Job, can we watch Heath Job's on board, please?
Did he just do a fucking kickflip?
Yeah, I think he did.
Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Field closes up in front of him. He tries to go high to get away from it. Oh my god.
Gets pushed overhead and
literally does a kickflip. And I'll be honest, his car doesn't look bad apart from the missing front bumper. Everything else, like the whole rest of his car looks intact, I'll be honest. For doing a kickflip, that is not bad. Well, let's go back and see if we can break that down a little bit further between what happened between David McCullough and whoever that was next to him. We got David McCullough and who is that? The number 7 there next to him. That is Danny Barnes. Ooh. I think it's just a case of Danny started to come down and David wanted, to come up a little bit more. Definitely an awkward position to be going into that turn 3 right there, but it results in a lot of vehicles getting stacked up there. I read 2 vehicles completely junked after that incident, one of which being Danny Barnes, Kevin. Cooper Liardi, unfortunately, the other recipient of that meatball flag. He was heavily involved as well.
We're green. Just
not
like
too
that.
much to continue, but like you said, we are green. 2 file, making it through.
Christopher McCullough trying to hold off Morrison.
And we are already under caution once again, Kevin. We're looking at the overhead, and I see 2 cars loose at the bottom of 4. I think that's Jacob Petrowski and Omar Rodriguez from what it looks like, and I think I see more names, Kevin.
Oh boy, here we go.
We know it happens in 3, or maybe on the exit of 4, I want to say. So we'll take a look here, maybe at like our starter cam. Here's our leaders. Oh. Oh my. And we see 4 vehicles collect into that.
Oh. And look, it doesn't look like terrible damage for the most of them. It kind of seems like a lot of these wrecks, they're able to slow down enough to make it so that their car's not, needing to go back to the garage, I should say.
Right. We know Omar Rodriguez was involved in this one, so... Oh!
31 of... Nick Hames gets... Is there contact there?
I can't really tell. Let's go ahead and take a look here.
09.
Gavin Williams, thank you for the sub. Alright, let's see here. Nick Hames.
Yeah,
I think we do see a little bit of contact between the 60 and the 31.
Well...
I don't know. Right there.
Yeah, I think maybe
it's very slight, but I mean, with these turns
unfortunate
being
for
so
Omar
tight,
Rodriguez,
yeah,
though.
it just happens.
The 48
the
kind of packs it in as well.
Oh, and the 54 just gets smacked up into the wall, too.
Jeffrey Bourne
where to go.
Omar Rodriguez involved.
01 as well there.
Jacob Petrovsky involved as well.
Boy. And that is unfortunate, Kevin. That is a lot of vehicles involved in a lot of incidents thus far. But so far, like I said, only 2 meatballs from what we've seen. So a lot of drivers still standing on this starting field of 36. kind of racing you been up to lately, Kevin? As the pace car is going to be making its way around these last couple turns.
I've been doing a lot of GT3 with you. Outside of that, kind of just some boring stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
Somebody suckered me into going into a Gen 4 Texas race, and that went terribly.
Yeah, that does not sound like fun, Kevin. I know. I for one would never run that track. I hate it. But we are green once again. Back at it once again.
Yeah, and it's another great jump here from McCullough and Carroll, but a little bit further back through the field, we're already seeing some two-wide racing. These guys are not afraid to stay aggressive here.
No, they are not, Kevin. Oh boy, and I hear wrecking somewhere. Where do I hear it?
And caution flies. What do we got here, Luke? Oh, a little self-spin start by the 8 car of Daryl Johnson, and then I think that was a 760 of Heath Job, clipping him at the end and kind of spinning him around.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really put too much fault on Heath Job there, in my opinion. I mean, he's not expecting him to be spinning out there right on the very exit of that turn. It's a very hard spot that even if you do break out that exit, you can really even give yourself a lot of offset. But either way, probably some unfortunate incident there for him as well. But bringing us back here to the front of the field. Lights back on the pace car. Yeah, we gotta wonder when this first field of pitting is gonna come for these guys.
Yeah, and I'd imagine as far as green flag pits, it's, kind of no concern. So I think we're going to see a lot of different strategies as for which caution these guys come in. And I know it's tough for them because you never really expect that long green flag run after seeing caution after caution, but it does happen. So I'm excited to see when these leaders especially decide it's their time to pit.
I mean, if you're out there on the front of this group, what kind of and you're in this kind of position right now, what kind of pit strategy would you be running?
Probably just as long as I can, honestly. Don't want to push it too much because, like I said, never know when that green flag pit stop's gonna happen. But probably run the tank pretty low. You're not burning up too much tire out here pacing, but we are green once again, as you see Carroll do the same move that he's done 4 times this evening, and Christopher McCullough taking a little bit of a higher line as his teammate is looking a little bit lower. Hey, McCullough.
Everybody else seeming to file in pretty well behind them. A sense of pace here for you. Oh,
and that's gonna bring out caution number 5. The 60 car goes for a ride.
We see more flipping around.
Oh, as does the 4 car. We see Chad Strello in the 4 involved. We see,
I believe, what is that? David McCullough, Chad Strello,
Aaron Wright as well in the 60.
Saw it happen with the 04 on the exit of turn 4.
Yeah, just another self-spin incident, yeah. But it was a double whammy. We saw the 60 as well. I think make a very similar move.
13 of David McCullough also shows involvement somewhere, somehow, and oh!
Yeah, just kind of not getting on the brakes as quickly as the guy in front of him. His car is still rolling, though. He seems to be quite banged up, I can't lie. And the 60 car was kind of...
We kind of saw that.
Yeah, we saw that one. That was kind of the first start. Maybe got the other guys out of cahoots or something, because it kind of seems like we saw about 3 other self-spins in the same spot. The caution could be pinned anywhere, really, Luke.
Pretty much. But either way, it's going to bring out number 5, and we are one step closer to that 13 and a half line that we said earlier.
Yeah, and you know, Luke, we're sitting at 67% takers on the over. 33% of folks still, you know, hedging their bets and believing in the under. I don't know about that. We're gonna need a green flag run. I can't lie. We're gonna need...
It's a lot of believing. That's a lot to believe in. So I'm still on my vote. I don't think they're making it 13. I think they're making it 13 and a half, sorry.
Pacing around one more time before we go green again. You know, we've dug through a lot of these laps just by pacing. I mean, it's not like the race isn't moving along. We're 42 laps deep here, and I think if you're Nathan Carroll, you kind of, at this point, don't really care what they do because you're staying in front of the wrecks. Now, what would start to get dangerous here is if, you know, there's some chaotic racing with lap traffic involved. In which case, you know, God help him. But we are green out here, and maybe his best jump thus far, as we see the McCulloughs both kind of trailing back half a second.
Already catching up to some lap traffic, Kevin, of the 04. Just the 4, sorry. That's Chad Straylow. We know he was involved in a bit of a self-spin there. 63 and the 04 are going to be making their way around as he elects to take the high line and left.
Yeah, good on Straylow to not stay low. Not even a pity chuckle. Thank you. Yeah, we see Kenny McCullough has made up a spot within the past couple cautions over Matt Morrison, but everything else in that top 4 has kind of stayed the same. We see Connor Price, who had a great week last week. Unfortunate strategy called there, kind of screwed him over, but a great week last week for Connor Price. He's trying to repeat his efforts at Iowa.
Absolutely. They're making their way around out here. Seeming to file back into that single file wide racing.
Oh!
Contact, we just saw it happen.
Yeah.
Little bump and
staring
spin, and
right at it. Oh! Oh, and it's still...
And cars still flying.
That's gotta be a blind spot, Luke.
Yeah, it is. Oh. Man, oh man. We gotta go back and break that down, Kevin.
Yeah. I mean, we were staring right at it, and it starts with the 48 of, I do believe, Jeffrey Bourne. You see the 93 of Regan Shockley. Kind of just give it a little bit too much gas there, and send them both for a little bit of a very identical looking ride.
Oh yeah.
A hard hit there for the 19 car.
That's Hunter Azell.
Hunter Azell involved heavily. And then if we go back to the 48, oh,
My lord.
Jeremy Osborne.
Colliding and taking both of each other's bumpers off in that collision.
Yeah, then the 60 stays clean. And it just seems like it was a stack up. Could we go back and watch the onboard of Jeremy Osborne and see it maybe? I mean, it really did look like a blind spot just from the fact that nobody was really breaking up.
Yeah.
Either a blind spot or, guys trying not to spin themselves by over braking. I know at these short tracks that can be an issue, so.
Absolutely.
We see it happening, we see it happening. Yeah, really just too much momentum being carried, honestly. We were talking pre-race about how there is banking and they're going to be pushing a lot of momentum through these corners. And I suppose they were just going quicker than I anticipated and really nowhere to go.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. But they're going to likely both have to make their way into the pits here. I would like to point out, though, that Heath Job in the 760 has meatball out here tonight.
Unfortunate, yeah. As we can see, not, possessing a front bumper, not a huge surprise, but, look, I think now is a great time to shout out our sponsor of the evening, Slightly Dangerous Racing. They've got a couple drivers out here tonight. It's Garrett Hummel and Daryl Johnson. And we really appreciate their support tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to be going green once again out here on the afternoon. Nathan Carroll once again with pretty much the same jump we've seen all night. And oh man, we see a jump. Oh boy, Kenny McCullough.
Oh, and they're going to stay green through the... Oh, no, they are not.
We see a spin happen near Kenny McCullough.
Unfortunate. It seems like Kenny McCullough's had the speed all season, but just not the luck. He's once again falling from, close to the lead, and I'm not quite sure if this was on him or not, so... Not gonna say anything yet. No.
Oh, no.
Looks like, is that a 9 or a 6?
Looked like a 6.
Did look like a 6. I think that's Matt Morrison getting into Kenny McCullough there. I don't know how bad the damage is, if I'm being honest. I don't think it's anything terrible, but... That's just going to happen in short track racing, Luke, and that's going to ultimately bring us one caution closer to the 13.5 goal, which I am slowly starting to believe in less and less on the under, so...
Honestly,
yeah,
the damage really didn't look bad at all.
Yeah, able to keep it pretty minimal as far as that front end damage goes. He got into the wall a little bit, but he's already out of the pits. I do believe that's him going a lap down. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Huh? I think. Yes, he is a lap down. That does put him a lap down, unfortunately.
Yeah, and honestly, look, I think that's an accident on his part. You saw he was about probably half a second behind the pace car there and just barely got beat out. And I'd imagine he tried to beat it out and just take as much damage as he could, but I could be wrong there. That could be intentional. And, if I'm Kenny McCullough, I'm not too concerned about getting the lap back with the cautions we've had this evening.
Yeah, I mean, wrong or not, I had a pretty similar situation after I also got convinced once to run a really dumb Gen 4 Legacy Texas race by some idiot. But either way, it pissed off my night, but it's not going to probably piss off Kenny. And we're going green once again. Like I say it every single time, but pretty much the exact same start there, Nathan Carroll. With the same jump we've seen time and time again.
Looking back here, what do we got? Luke?
Trying to figure it out here, Kevin. I'm just taking a look. I'm seeing the caution, but I'm not seeing a name attached to it. But I see who it was. I saw somebody.
What number are we looking at?
Hard to see there. Their scheme was a little hard to see. Going back to the caution, I mean, it just doesn't give me a driver to credit for some reason. We're just going to have to go back and start looking at drivers here and see who we got.
Oh,
I think we see it right there.
There. I don't know if that's an incident or if it's just...
Who is that? Who is that? 02?
02 is going to be Nolan Gross.
Is it? Take a look.
Quite sure if that's where the caution started.
Oh,
yeah,
I think
it is.
A bit of a self-spin. Let's see.
Yep, just too hot out of the exit of 4.
Digging a little too deep on the exit, yeah.
Decently hard into the wall, nothing crazy.
I mean, things like that happen, you know. Getting late into this race, you know, they got to be feeling the warmth on these tires by now.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know who's come in when, but definitely probably some different tire feels. And also probably some damage on a lot of these cars that they're trying to fight through.
No doubt, no doubt.
Brings out caution number 8, Luke, and, you know, I hate to rush you, but maybe we could, this next caution, while we kind of see what happens, I get an interview in here, because we haven't been able to talk to any of the drivers due to it kind of moving so quick through the cautions.
Yeah, you're right. The beauties of short track racing. Gotta be kind of fast with it. Pace car's gonna be making its way in once again. We're gonna be going green again. Oh, and a little bit of a different jump here off the start, Kevin. Christopher McCullough with maybe not as perfect of a start as he's had these last couple. He's gonna kind of have that door open on the inside there. Matt Morrison. But he's gonna get that speed on that outside line and man pass him quite fast there, and they're gonna get right back to about the same story. See a little bit of Lincoln going on there, I think, somewhere in the middle of the field, maybe with 28. Morrison going to look for the inside once again on Christopher McCullough.
Oh, and
I'm reading Aaron right. Oh, and I'm seeing at least 2 drivers sideways there, Kevin. 60 of Aaron Wright. And I'm also reading even more right now. Reading Kenny McCullough was somehow involved in that. Let's see if that's true.
Yeah, and you know, Luke, while you go back and find out
break this
who's
down,
involved in this one, can I go ahead and bring on in driver here. Yep. Hey, Nathan, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, a copy.
Hey, man, just wanted to, you know, check in and see if you're staying awake up there. I know it's been a long race in terms of pacing, I hear, but, you know, at the same time, it's kind of, you know, what you want to see because you've had the great jumps tonight and you're in a great position in this race. Can you talk me through kind of how the race has felt so far?
Yeah, well, obviously it's been a lot of pacing, but I was worried about, you know, this kind of stuff, so made sure to set a good qualifying lap down and have the early track position so I could just kind of maintain that lead, especially if it's yellow after yellow.
Absolutely. We'll wish you the best of luck in the back half of this race, and hope to talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. That was Nathan Carroll, has led every lap of this one so far, Luke.
You know, Kevin, if I'd gotten his driver picture up a little sooner, I would have asked him if he's rocking that hair still in real life, if that's actually him.
Yeah, you were telling me you got a haircut today. Anything exciting?
Oh no, I just always get a little off the top, a little shaping up. It's all it really
I got
requires.
you. I got you. Just a little cleanup.
Of course, of course. Always good to get the old fresh up, but he's definitely got some locks there, that's for sure. That is him. But regardless, he's definitely getting a lot of space up there here in the front, that's for sure. Definitely hearing some fuel saving out of some throttle response on some of those guys. I can hear some weird clutch revving patterns there. I don't know. And getting some confirmation in the chat from one Danielle Carroll that he is indeed still rocking that haircut. Can't confirm. Love to hear it. Pace car's making its way in, and we're going green once again. Making their way around out here, and this time I will say, Kevin, Christopher McCullough is a lot closer on Nathan Carroll.
Hey, Luke.
What's up?
Oh, wait, Todd?
Hello?
Oh, that was me. My headset just got really quiet. Everything got quiet, and I thought I don't know what I thought. I thought something was breaking.
Well, I'm glad you tried to seek for me for help, so.
Well, I actually heard you, and I thought it was someone in my room talking to me. So I took off my headset, then I was like, hold on, that's just Luke really quiet.
Pretty funny. But I would like to point out here, Nathan Carroll just set his best lap of the evening last lap there at a 16.75. He sees Christopher McCullough. Did he take a pit? Let's take a look here. Nope, he did not. Just maybe under a little more pressure here as he sees Christopher McCullough. He's been a lot tighter up here on his heels since this last restart compared to the last few. But now they're having to navigate around some lap traffic, and I think that's going to create a little bit of separation between the two. As he is now over half a second back.
As he's creating that separation, the field is kind of getting spread out, like we saw in that first run, where it's becoming less and less likely. Well, where can I say that? We see some 3 wide, but less and less likely of the stack-ups. As we see a lot of single-file racing around the track.
Yeah, we do, but we also see a handful of passes being made there through the exit of some turns, so we still see a decent bit of passing out here, but in terms of the front runners out here, once again, Nathan Carroll's lead is only growing. He seems to have been really doing his practice and, like he said, really aimed to set his a dominant qualifying lap out here. Has really put himself in a great position throughout the entire duration of this race out here. And oh, sweet Jesus, Kevin, I'm seeing about 6 cars piled up, and I think I might have heard a motor blow up. Dear Lord, and I see multiple vehicles against the front straightaway wall, Kevin, and I got a feeling it's going to happen on that dreaded turn 4 exit. And let's see what happens here. Coming out of the turn 4 exit. Seems to be all together there, and oh man. We see 4 vehicles all stack up there on the turn 4 exit wall, and I believe those will consist of, what is that, Reagan Shockley. Let's go ahead and take a look back and see if we can get an idea of this one. Oh. Happens between the 36 of Kyle Van Drunen and one other 03 of Kenny McCullough, who has had a rough night out here so far.
Yeah, amongst many others, it kind of seems like, ooh, well,
Oh,
I don't know how much I can, ooh, and Oh, and Wolfie Ginch saying that if Aiden Stevens wins this one, he will have him sign his forehead and get it tattooed.
Wow. And you know, I would be quite intrigued to see that. I think that would be for me, that would be an extra sense of encouragement to get up there. He's currently sitting in, you know, P9 right now. He's still in the top 10. He's not in a bad spot, but not much has changed throughout the first 88 laps of this race in terms of leaders, Kevin. I'll be honest with you. Anyone that's wanting to contest these front runners are really going to have to put in the work if they're wanting to get up here.
And, you know, coming up to that halfway point, I think some of these guys are starting to think about, you know, the pit situation.
You know, one person I hate to comment on once again here, who is to stack on once another thing on the bad Unite, he is currently sitting with a black flag as well. Kenny McCullough.
Unfortunately.
He's definitely had a rough night out here, but pace car is going to be making its way in here, out of this turn, exit. And once again, we're going to be going green. Green once again.
Matt Morrison has found his way up into a great spot. As
Connor
is
Price
Connor
as
Price,
well.
though.
He's moved up into P2.
And he is moving. Has he taken a pit look? Can we check on his pit situation?
Take a look
he
here.
seems like some speed.
Nobody apart from the number 5, or P5 right now, sorry.
John Merriman. Interesting.
Maybe just turning up the intensity here on these laps. You never know. Some drivers finding some more life out here, maybe deciding to
Oh, and I was going to say, it kind of seems that they might be slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be correct because we are under caution number 11.
Reading Hunter Azell being a crash here. The number 19. You see the 52 get squirrely there, and oh no.
Oh, Chris McCullough kind of not reading the checkup as well as everybody else. And kind of just hits him in stride. I don't think any issues for the 04, but if you're the 19 car, you drew the short end there.
Definitely took a good lick there. Just trying to do the right thing to check up, but unfortunate. Definitely unfortunate for him. He's going to be back in P18 as we go back live. But, you know, Nathan Carroll said it best. Done a lot more pacing than racing out here. And he's making his way into the pits, but he overshoots his pit entrance, Kevin. And some issues there on his pit entrance there for Nathan Carroll, Kevin, and that's very unfortunate for him. He is going to take a little bit longer to get into that pit stall than he wanted, if I had to take a guess, but that's now going to leave the lead sitting to Connor Price. We saw him making up spots pretty fast there, but he's made his way all up here to the front. And with the pit of those front runners, it's going to put him in the pole position now.
Wolfie Gensch, once again professing his love for Aiden Stevens out here. Oh wait, no, that's a second person. Aiden Stevens has some fans.
Oh yeah. Some dedicated fans, it seems. Lights off the pace car. We're going to be going green this upcoming time. Bye.
Green flag, and Connor Price now out in the lead as we saw Nathan Carroll decide to take the pit stop. So it seems everybody up here, except for Connor Price, has kind of made their decision here to get some fresh tires, some more fuel, and hopefully get to the end of the race out here.
Sense of some of those pit times down there on the battle box.
Yeah, and it seems like the tires aren't making a huge difference out here. It seems like Connor Price, with the clean air and with the space, is able to still drive away despite not having pit yet. So, I don't know if that was kind of anticipated by all these guys and they just kind of took the pit because they had to get it out of the way at some point, or if they're kind of shocked that Connor Price is keeping such a good pace.
I don't know. Maybe on our next caution, if we have another one, bring him in here and ask the man himself. It's either way, he's put a lot of space between him and the guys behind him off the start. And that caution comes, Kevin. Well, we go back and break this down and see if there's any way we can get him in here.
Let me take a look, see if he is available.
A little shell spin there by the 99. Oh.
Alright, found him. I am moving him over. Hey, Connor, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, it kind of seems like you're learning a little bit from the unfortunate events of last race we had, kind of taking that early pit. You're staying out here and you're getting some laps let in. We were a little surprised with how well the pace was, despite you kind of staying out for as long as you have. You want to talk us through how the car's feeling?
Car's honestly still feeling great. I think even having these short little bursts of laps, I think being under caution, it's just keeping the temperature out of them. It honestly feels better than it did to start.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw the fastest lap of the race happen it was mid-80s, so we were pretty surprised to see that, but it's nice to see you were out here leading some laps just like you were last week, or a few weeks ago, but we wish you some luck in the rest of the race and hope to talk to you.
Alright, thank you.
Thanks. That was Connor Price currently leading, and Luke, I gotta agree, we haven't really seen anything from this race that would tell us that, they burned up their tires. Just a lot of pacing, short bursts of 5 or 10 laps here and there, but nothing too terrorizing to the tire wear.
Yeah, and then I guess that brings up the next question. When is he going to want to come in here to pit? What it seems, a lot of, Aiden Steven fans got to be happy here, and maybe one excited tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Lights off the pace car. We're going to be going green once again. And I think because of the amount of cautions here, we're going to see a single... no, maybe. Maybe a single file restart? And by popular demand of the chat, it looks like we're going to be getting Aiden Stevens in here on the next caution. If we have it, of course. Whoa! Uh-oh. Looks like it's going to be a delayed restart as the 93 is going to fly around of Reagan Shockley. Thought I saw Kyle Busch start there for a second, Kevin. I can't lie. Pace car's going to bully his way all the way up to the front. But go right back in, because they're going to go green once again.
Ian Stevens trying to find his way to the front. Oh, right under caution we go again, though. That's going to put us at number 13.
Once again, Kevin, I'm reading Aaron right.
But while you break it down, I'm going to get in here and shoot the shit with Aiden Stevens by popular demand. Hey, Aiden, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, first and foremost, you got a lot of fans in our chat really pulling for you here, and by really pulling for you, I mean we've been told that a face tattoo is in order if you get the win here tonight. How does that make you feel?
I heard about the face tattoo. I don't know who's gonna get it, but
Wolfie Ginch.
that'd be
Familiar
my
name, I assume.
Yep, that'd be my housemates. Like Wolfie or Henry and Gavin.
Yep, that's about the names we're seeing in here, but you know, it's been a great race for you so far. You're up sitting pretty in second place with about 90 laps left. Are you kind of, you know, hoping to keep seeing the cautions flow and maybe get these 5-10 lap bursts, or are you kind of hoping to see a green flag run where you can, you know, really put it down and see what you can do?
Good question. The short runs will allow the tires to stay cool. Tire wear doesn't seem to be a huge issue. It seems to be more of just how hot they're getting. Tires get hot, people get tight. The long run would be nice, get some racing going, because the long run will rely more on skill rather than just tire wear.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, whichever one it is, we hope to see you up front and possibly talking to us at the end of this thing. Good luck, Aiden.
Hey, one more thing, Aiden,
Thank
here
you.
before we get you out of here. If you do get the win here, are you going to see to it that the tattoo arrangement happens, or is because they're your roommates, or how's that going to operate?
Brother, let me. Okay, what the hell?
Oh.
Well, on that note,
Why-
Aiden, we'll let you go and sort this out.
Okay.
All right, good luck, Aiden. Some chaos has happened here under caution on lap 112. And
Break this one down.
yeah, and that's the caution's going to be extended here, and it seems like we have Connor involved. The 18, I do believe, is that 18 or 81? I can't really read that all too well.
You know, it's a little tough to say, Kevin. I see a lot of names for
Yeah,
for a pacing incident.
The 74 of Aiden Stevens honestly gets through pretty well. It seems like Connor Price really gets the short end one. I don't know if there's going to be some damage there.
74
I
maybe
don't
wanted to
really
shoot it
even
pretty
know
wide.
what the call is going to be there.
You know, I gotta say, Kevin, that
That's a ninth gear first.
I hope my question didn't distract him. Either way.
Regardless, are we still pacing?
No, we are not. Just
Yeah.
it comes by
Racing,
quick.
and Connor Price able to you know, find his positions back and get back up where he belongs. Aiden Stevens still in second. It seems like everything was sorted out very quickly, so good on race control to kind of sort that one out. I know that's probably, you know, not an everyday call that RC has to make, so
Like you said,
everything's all
definitely
cleaned
ninth
out.
gear
I don't
first.
Yeah, I don't think there was too much damage, if any, so the race goes on, and how about Connor Price still leading this thing around? And like he said earlier, you know, Tires still feel good. Pace still feels good. And, you know, I personally hope we see a green flag run out here.
I do
Still.
too. You really get to get a sense of how those tires are going to feel, especially after I believe, as it stands, we'll just do a brief skim through here real quick. Yeah, I believe he's our only driver currently that has not taken a pit yet, Kevin, so he's definitely got to be stretching this fuel window. As it stands, he is definitely sitting in a very comfortable spot.
Yeah, but honestly, look, for me, it's impossible to tell if it's a good spot or a bad spot just based off how the rest of this race is going to go is such a mystery. I mean, he hasn't pit yet. He, at some point, would have to come in, I imagine, just for fuel, but leading the laps right now is not a bad play, especially with kind of all the chaos all evening happening mid-pack.
We'll have to see what he chooses to do out here. The next best contender here in terms of fuel strategy is going to be Aiden Stevens right now, who last pit on lap 64.
Yeah, an 18 car of Merriman also kind of sitting in a good spot.
I gotta say it. This track does look pretty nice with those lights off, Kevin. It's a beautiful night track out here. The sun has officially set. I will say the track temp has warmed up a little bit to 91 degrees.
Cooled off, you mean?
We started off with an 80-degree track temp.
I think that was air temp. I think it was 102 for qualifying, unless it cooled down
It did.
a
It
lot
cooled down
after
before the race.
qualifying.
Yeah, it cooled down a lot.
Okay.
before the race. I might be wrong. Either way, it's still pretty warm out there, all things considered.
Yeah, and, you know, it's in Pensacola, Florida. So, not too surprising that it's warm. I wouldn't mind going to a 5 flag speedway race.
Yeah, me too, Kevin. After seeing this, I'm going to have to definitely give it a couple races out here if I ever do see it in an official. It really doesn't look like a bad track to run. But Connor Price is definitely getting things done out here so far.
Yeah, absolutely. We have just under 70 laps to go. Aiden Stevens kind of, you know, not tracking back, but has Scott Merriman, in Norris, caught on his back bumper, and I'd imagine we could see a pass here soon for second place.
Yeah, just possibly. They're starting to stack up pretty good back there, Kevin. All of them staying pretty close together there.
But the lap traffic is also going to change a lot, and as it seems, they are just about there, especially Counter Price.
Yeah, he is. He's going to take the inside on the 30 or 99. Again, Fry. That's how the danger really starts out here in these long green flag runs. Top 15 still remain on the lead lap out here. The ending of that is going to be Chad Strelo. And if you look behind him, hot on his heels is going to be Connor Price, not too far behind them.
Yeah, and we're under our 14th caution of the evening. And that officially hits the over, so I'm going to go ahead and close that on up. Congratulations to those.
Yes.
who chose the over to be hitting.
Ninth Gear had a betting line. I would be a millionaire, Kevin, let me tell you.
Ninth Gear Sportsbook.
That's
Oh.
right. And bit of contact
Connor
between
Zell.
19 and 36.
Getting into the 36 there of Kyle Van Drunen, who's, hasn't had too rough of a race up until that moment, I don't believe, because I haven't really said his name.
And just reading here, we got quite a few drivers heading into the pits. One, Hunter Ezell, David McCullough, John Marino, Kyle Van Drunen as well. There's Omar Rodriguez, we got Blaze Billing. Connor Price still stays out, and he still has not pit, Kevin. Quite unfortunate. Mr. Dawson Price calling it quits there after receiving 7 minutes of damage early. And you hate to hear it.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that once you do get that kind of damage tacked on, it can really put an end to things out there.
Well, Luke, I know we've referenced our recent Texas Legacy race, and I'd like to point out I had 12 minutes of damage in that one, and fortunately in these league races, you don't have to worry about safety rating, but unfortunately for me, I had to cart around about 4 seconds off pace for, I'd say about 75 laps.
How'd you enjoy that, Kevin?
Probably about as much as you enjoyed carting around about 5 laps down because you couldn't figure out a pit stop.
Correct. Almost as fun as our GT3 race earlier when we tried to figure out, is that Allgaier, right?
No, I think that's an Xfinity driver.
Allgaier?
I think Allgaier or something. Yeah, something like that. We're green.
Joke is we suck at driving and we are green once again.
Yep. Another great jump there for the 28 of Connor Price. As he's about half a second out.
Dawson Price having some issues through the qualifying, he says, and putting him in an uncomfortable spot here, but he is pulling through for his brother, Connor, who's still sitting up there in the captain's seat in P1. And putting on some space between him and P2 right now. Is that Merriman right now, who's sitting in P2. Aiden Stevens in P3, not too far behind him.
Sean Merriman, sorry. I know a Scott Merriman, and I keep getting the names mixed up. So if I've been calling you Scott, that's my fault. Sean Merriman, sitting in second. Looking quick, might I add, because he started in 28th place and has made it up into second. Oh, and caution flies here on lap 146.
Reading it near David McCullough. Don't know if he was involved or what, but we'll take a look back here and see where that happened. Oh, I think we might see it here. 13 in the 60. Oh. Oh. And just based off of what it looks like here, Kevin. Looks like there was a bit of a checkup there in front of them here through the exit of turn 2.
Yeah, and I think these guys are just carrying so much speed, especially with the banking, that on these checkups, they get really squirrely. It's really hard to all check up at the same speed. I don't know if that's the case here, because I haven't watched it in full speed, but
13 gets
Kinda
up to the guy in
sees.
front of him, checks up,
Yeah,
kind of
he
gets himself a little loose. He's trying to
Yeah.
hold it, but the 60, not prepared for the checkup, comes in and gives him the wham. 13 just gets loose off of it, and we see, unfortunately, the 04 or 01 just not really able to see it in time, and unfortunately collects a couple more. But anyways, bringing us back here to the pace car. Connor Price, once again, still sitting up comfortably in the front. Sitting at almost lap 150 right now. And, still has not pit yet, and I'm definitely curious to know what his fuel situation is looking like at this current moment, but we'll leave that up to him. As of now, if he can stay out the whole time, off of fuel saving, we're gonna let him, and we're gonna watch it happen. I believe now we see 16 drivers now on this lead lap, as Kyle Van Drunen is going to get the lucky dog candidate and get to run around and get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, and once again, a huge shout out to our sponsor, SDR, Slightly Dangerous Racing. Glad to be on board with them. Garrett Hummel, Daryl Johnson, sitting about mid-pack.
Garrett Hummel sitting in second place right now, Kevin.
Oh, Garrett Hummel, I skipped over it.
Sitting in second place at the moment. He is.
That's not mid-pack.
No,
That's
it
fast.
is not. He is. Yeah, that's damn fast. He's made his way up here into the P2 position, but being contested by the Nathan Carroll, who has made his way back around the field and made his way back up
caution
towards
flies.
the front. And I believe that might give him the P2 position after that. Nathan Carroll, who's fought his way back up to the front. And I believe I'm reading Christopher McCullough off speed. Go back and take a look here. That dreaded turn 4 exit, Kevin. It's gotten so many. We saw it happen in the practices. I hate to say it, but I saw it a little bit in the early qualifying as well. But that's been a dreaded turn for all the drivers tonight, I think. And I mean, just taking a look here. After that, as a result, his car doesn't look bad, in my opinion. I think his front end was the only bit that really hit the wall too hard. But like I said, these things are built pretty tough. These American vehicles are built a little tougher than some of the other series that we've ran, but doesn't appear to have too much damage, as he's going to hopefully be able to remain on the lead lap, and is not opting to go into the fence.
As we pace around here with the lights still on, Connor Price is tacking up those laps led and giving Nathan Carroll a run for his money for most led of the night. Still currently belongs to Nathan Carroll out here, but it's going to be interesting between the two of them. We're going to have a battle, I do believe. As we're getting ready to go green once again, it's going to be the 17th restart / start of the evening. Pace car is in, and wasting no time as Connor Price and the 28 car blocking that top side of Nathan Carroll, not letting him get a run around him. And they have filed in single file. Here comes Garrett Hummel looking a little bit lower than Morrison. Three slightly different lines among the three. Are the tires finally starting to feel some wear for Connor Price, or is he staying strong? We've got about 42 laps to find out.
We can get a sense of how these tires are feeling, maybe with a little onboard here for him.
Yeah, and Luke, I'll be honest with you, I don't really know what a clean lap on fresh tires looks like, so in terms of speed out here, I mean, it seems like he's still got it as he's staying out in front.
Boy.
But the caution flies as guys slow down. Oh, and we've got a big one.
We got a side.
And this,
Crab driving! Crab driving!
and
The 18.
Sean Merriman, who we were just accommodating, is now
Oh, boy.
crab walking across the track.
And we are going to have to go back and take a look at this, as we see a lot
As
of
per
drivers
usual.
involved. I think it happens between Sean and someone else here. I think it's between the 18 and the 82. Both coming into
Of
that one
DJ
at different
Norris.
speeds. Oh,
And then the
no.
redirect. Oh, barely clipping. Oh,
goodness.
that's not barely.
No, it is not. As we see multiple drivers pile up after that one. But no meatballs, I'll be honest, Kevin. The repair team of Merriman's crew think they can get it done and get that tool time car back out there.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, well, using the wall to keep us straight there. As he drove sideways the end of the pit and his pit stall sideways, so he's going to see what damage he can fix up out there, but I don't imagine he's going to be back out on the track too long if he has that same amount of damage when he comes back out. Throw another question up in the air for you tonight, Kevin. And it's a similar one that I gave you earlier. And I'm hoping the concept and the idea has changed here for you, but do you have an update for me on your beverage choice today?
Drinking a Busch Light.
Very nice.
With that being said, I do think I'm going to fall asleep if I don't get some caffeine in me.
You see. What kind of Butch can are you rocking this time?
Nothing fancy. Just good old normal one.
The original blue. Very nice.
Some waves, yeah.
Very nice.
Says cold and smooth.
Yep, sounds like a Busch Light if I've ever heard one. Heard green once again. Seen quite a lot of wall contact there on the exit of turn 4 on the front straightaway, Kevin. Oh, man. Uh-oh. The 93, we see really getting off speed there from something, and we are going to go under another caution. That's Reagan Shockley. No, it is not. But Reagan Shockley did wreck from that, apparently. Nope, it lied. The 93 was the one involved in that one. It was Reagan Shockley. I don't know why it took me to somebody else. But yeah, I'm not too sure what that was. Let's see. And it looks like another case of a self-spin out of the exit of 4. Unfortunate incident for him, but I believe he's still going to remain on the lead lap out here. He is.
Yeah, and Luke, as these laps wind down, the cautions become more and more important. As the track position becomes more and more important. I mean, 30 laps if we're green can, be less than 10 minutes of racing out here, so... as we get these cautions, I'd imagine guys are going to start getting more and more aggressive, which unfortunately might lead to more cautions, but at the same time, it'll lead to how the end of this race is going to shape out, and right now it's still looking very good for the 28 car.
And we'll see how it shapes out for him. I kind of was wondering if he'd have enough fuel to make it here to the end of this thing, and I don't still want it to be up to a mystery out here. I didn't want to bring him back in and ask him again.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing, and I imagine, he probably would have come in by now if not. And if I had to take a guess, I'd say all this pacing around in fourth gear has helped his fuel situation tremendously.
That just may be. We'll have to see out here as the laps, like you said, are dwindling away.
Light is off on the pace car as these guys sort into their spots. Nathan Carroll going to be starting on the outside, looking to regain his spot in first place. Connor Price trying to defend it. Garrett Hummel and Morrison is going to take up the second row. We've got ourselves a good one, Luke. Pace car is in. And a little bit of a bump there. Connor Price gets off cleanly.
I just went back
outside.
and kind of took a look back, Kevin, just to double check for myself here to make sure I was saying it accurately. Nathan Carroll, and I corrected myself here, he did have a bit of struggle going through the pit entrance there. He overshot his pit entrance, backed up too far, and just had an unfortunate entry through his pit. So fighting through a rough pit entrance and stuff, he has made his way tremendously back up here into second place.
Very nicely done. It seems he's kind of getting bogged up in some double wide.
Oh man, that's Garrett Hummel! Gets loose, holds it together, and the 13-2 of David McCullough gets a little loose there as well. They all hold it together, and they all sort it out, and we still remain green. Good on both of the drivers for holding it together there. That's going to leave a little bit of breathing room now, I imagine, for Nathan Carroll, who is really going to probably get the opportunity to dig and try to make up some time here with those fresher tires. Oh boy. We are going to see our 19th caution of the afternoon, Kevin. I'm reading one DJ Norris off track. We'll go back and see if it was just him here. No, it was not. That happens around Matt Morrison right there around P4. Oh no.
Yeah, Morrison gets driven up on a little bit, and not much lifting there, but a good, recovery.
Yeah, for
seems.
everybody there. Everybody seemed to sort that out apart from that little turn right there, but I'm still going to keep DJ Norris had a good save there through the grass. He's going to be in P8. I believe that's going to put Matt Morrison, he's going to make his way into the pits now after that one. A lot of drivers in there, I imagine, still probably trying to make up some repairs, fix up some damages, as we still have 15 drivers still on the lead lap. And I believe we see Kenny McCullough. He's had a bad night so far, but he's just got some good luck running his way. He's made his way back onto the lead lap now after this caution.
Yeah, fortunate for him, and we're seeing he's only 14th position right now, but that can change so quick as we've seen, a very chaotic race so far this evening. So his night is far from over, but I was just gonna say Connor Price probably smiling a little bit more and a little bit more every caution we see here, as I'd imagine. With the strategy we've seen from him so far, that definitely helps.
And then I guess the question just becomes, what is Nathan Carroll's decision going to be? What's he going to try to do to make this pass happen on Connor Price, and when is he going to make it happen?
"21 to go. Gonna be 20 when we go green. It's the witching hour of this race."
Green once again. Connor Price with a good jump there off the start once again.
Yeah, and he's got about a half a second lead over Nathan Carroll, who's clawing back, has those fresher tires, and looks like Aiden Stevens back up into third.
Nathan Carroll doing his best to try to hunt down Connor Price up there, sitting in P1. You know, one thing you gotta be careful for on these short tracks, Kevin, is getting too tunnel vision, trying to make up that time. You lock in too much on the guy in front of you and you try to outpace him too much, and you can result in the self-spin. So you gotta try to find a rhythm that works, find where you're making up that time, and stick to it for a duration of turns out here. And so far, I believe Nathan Carroll's making it work here, as he is making up some time.
Oh, when the
But
caution comes out.
as soon as I say it, we are right back under caution. And Kevin, I'd be lying if I told you I don't see a lot of names.
Oh, and it starts back there with Jeffrey Bourne, the 48 sideways. I don't know if that's where the incident itself started, but it seems like he's gotten the worst of it. Just off first glance. We see Matt Morrison behind all of it. Oh, and not reading the checkup. Gets into the 82, gets into Hunter Azell.
23 gets
Kinda
turned there.
causes the roadblock sort of thing we've seen. The 8 with a big shot. That's going to be Daryl Johnson.
82 takes a hard hit up into the exit wall. So does the 44, gets up out of the way there, I believe. But man, what a rough one there, Kevin. That is going to result in, as much as I hate to say it, more meatballs, Kevin. Aaron right now reading with a meatball, and so is Hunter Azell. A black flag also being issued for Omar Rodriguez. Not too sure what that one's on, but this is going to dwindle us ever so much closer to that 10 to go, Kevin.
Yeah, and Connor Price can smell it. You know, he needs to get to the end here because he's led so many of these laps. I think he's officially passed Nathan Carroll for most laps led, and you know it kind of feels very reminiscent of the first half of our last race with WWSS, where he was dominating lap after lap. And this time he's trying to bring it home. His brother won it last week and the week before, trying to carry on that Price domination.
And I gotta
But Nathan
say, Kevin,
Carroll's hungry.
Yeah, he is, Kevin. He led the whole beginning of this race. He's got fresher tires if you think it matters. You know, I mean, they've been pacing long enough that it might not. But at the same time, he's got to be feeling him eventually, right? He still hasn't pit. And I gotta wonder how much fuel he's got. I wonder how close that window is. Only time will tell out here. The lights are off the pace car. We're going to be going green with just 10 laps to go. We're going to be under double digits the next time around. But we are well into the witching hour of this race, Kevin. We've already seen one caution. Pace car's in, and we're going green. Maybe for the last time of the night. We'll see. Flags waving, and a good jump for Connor Price, and a good jump for Nathan Carroll as well, Kevin. We see your front runners up there near the front.
Aiden Stevens, though, looking to the inside now.
Yeah,
He's got
he
a side by
is.
side with Nathan Carroll, and that's exactly what you want to see if you're Connor Price.
Absolutely. As he's going to be able to start to try to pull away here. Yeah, P2 and P3 really fighting hard back there for that position. Ooh, and they're going to touch.
Oh, and into the wall a little bit goes Nathan Carroll.
They touch again.
Oh, Aiden Stevens isn't done.
They touch again, going into the exit of 2.
This is giving a lot of room here to Connor Price with only 8 laps to go.
And the question is this going to give it, is this going to give him the break that he needs? Still banging around back there, man.
Banging around.
And they're not wanting to give this one up, Kevin. Ooh!
No, and loose goes Carroll, and he's going to lose.
Oh,
and the 04 Chris McCullough.
Oh, shit!
Brings him around. Oh, and the 36
Lord.
as well.
Oh,
and
Lord.
we have the big one here with only 6 laps to go.
Oh,
and tempers
man.
are flaring out here, Luke. The 36 of Kyle Van Drunen, who was running a great race, involved as well.
Oh, no. And what an unfortunate incident there, Kevin. It happens right up in the front.
And Chris McCullough just not wanting to give up an inch there as we're dwindling down. I mean, we had about 2 minutes of green flag racing left on this one, and he's not lifting in that situation.
63.
And unfortunately,
we see there to start it. The 63 just gets a little loose. He's off speed there. Tries to rejoin down there. The 64, like you said, not wanting to really back down much there. Just
04 of Chris
or 04,
McCullough.
sorry, the 04 and.
But it all starts multiple laps before that between Aiden Stevens and Nathan Carroll. They were beating and banging down the backstretch through the turns. It kind of seemed inevitable.
And I mean, it's late enough in that race, Kevin, where it's kind of racing this late. You got to fight for those positions out there if you want it. But when you push it hard enough, you got to be able to to expect the consequences out here. That's going to involve at least 3 drivers there, and unfortunately, probably end that run out there right now that Nathan Carroll had, as he's going to be in the pits likely fixing up damage. But now that's going to open the window of opportunity for Connor Price even more, like we said. I believe it's going to take us to a normal finish here?
I'd imagine normal? It's going to be natural. I don't know. We'll have to see. I do believe we have 3 or 4 green-white checkers regardless, so... if a caution flies not on the white flag, this one will be going into overtime. But the window of opportunity really has opened here for Christopher McCullough, who had some bad luck earlier, kind of got buried after his pit cycle, and we haven't talked about him much since then. He's made his way back up into the top 3, had to use his nose a little bit, as we've seen in the past handful of cautions, maybe 1 or 2 times. But Aiden Stevens, who was kind of just in that feud there, I think we should call it, with Nathan Carroll, sitting pretty in second, seeing if he has anything for Connor Price.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but I see Brecken under caution.
Oh,
I see the 48 sideways.
He's going to get off the track right away.
Jeffrey Bourne, we're not really going to... It's going to extend the caution, actually, so we'll have time here to go back and maybe take a look at that. And we'll have to take a look at what happened there on that one. Oh my god.
Ooh. Well, a rough night gets worse for Nathan Carroll.
It's the 48. I don't really know how else to say that. He kind of looks like he just kind of drove up into him.
Are we racing?
Regardless, yeah, we're racing. We don't got time to talk about it. Connor Price up there with the lead. And it's just 2 short laps to go out here. Christopher McCullough and Aiden Stevens not backing down at all, trying to make up the time. The switchback.
McCullough clears the switchback by Aiden Stevens, trying to get underneath of him.
The
White
inside's
flag is
definitely
in
the
the
line for
air.
the passing, but I think the window of opportunity just might be open long enough. He needs those tires to stick for one more turn. And the win goes to Connor Price with not a single pit on the evening.
Wow.
And
Domination.
wow, what a
Connor
win.
Price. Very impressive. Christopher McCullough scored second, Aiden Stevens third. Fourth goes to Hummel, and fifth goes to Nolan Gross.
And what
Bring
a
out your
win
top
out
five.
there for Connor Price. But Kevin, I gotta say, by the end of this race out here, there's got to be some driver relationships that have been that have to be set.
Yeah, at the very least,
A
not
drama-filled
as strong, as strongly positive feelings towards one another.
Of course, definitely a drama-filled race, but nonetheless, Connor Price able to come out on top out here after making his way around and not pitting once. Gotta say, that is quite impressive, Kevin, as we don't see that often, do we?
No, not at all. And I've got to, wonder what the pit window was kind of looking at when we started the race, because I can't imagine it said for everybody that you would have been able to get to the end on fuel, or else we would have seen more of that strategy, I'd imagine. So I think he used the sheer amount of cautions to his advantage, and I don't know if it was close, but it seems he has enough to burn it down.
Absolutely. He's definitely going to use even, every bit that he's got left out here.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and pull him on over, your race winner of Connor Price, for the first interview of the night.
Yeah, the price is right once again.
Absolutely. Hey, Connor, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, man, carrying on the Price domination this season so far. We didn't know if you had it. I can't lie. I didn't know what the fuel window was, but I gotta ask, at the beginning of the race, before all the cautions, what was your crew chief telling you as far as fuel goes?
So I knew the pit window was about 150 laps, but I knew it was going to be a caution fest. So ever since lap 1, if a caution came out, I was just holding the clutch in, and we just had enough cautions that all lined up.
Yeah, absolutely. It was very impressive. Nobody else even thought of the strategy of, kind of just staying out all race. We saw a couple guys kind of try to make an effort for it. I kind of want to talk you through that battle we saw in your rear view with Aiden Stevens and Nathan Carroll. Do you think that kind of, sealed the deal for you? You saw them fight and you knew, one of them probably had the best opportunity of passing you if it wasn't for the other one?
Oh yeah, I noticed after about 5-6 laps green that the 83 was starting to get his pace on me. But I knew if we just kept having cautions, that if I was able to play enough of a restart game to get a jump, that they would be side by side, and running side by side on this track, you are losing a lot of time on someone that's all by themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was a great race for you. I know your brother Dawson kind of didn't have as much luck, but was cheering you on in the chat to continue. But we've seen some Price domination the past, I think, 3 races now. So looking forward, we're going to Dover next. How you feeling about Dover?
Honestly, Dover's not one of my best tracks. I'm awful at tire saving at Dover, and that's probably one of my big perks on the tracks we've been, is just being able to save my car. So I'm a little worried about going into Dover, but I feel like me, Dawson, and all the team can stay up front like we've been there all season.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations to you on taking the checkered flag here tonight at Five Flags. And anyone like to shout out before I get you out of here?
I'd like to shout out my mom, my dad, my brother. He's really helped me about learning to save car and just have consistent pace. Omar, he's really helped a lot. He's always a confidence boost. Even if he's not having a great race, he's always cheering you on. And all my friends and family that are they're watching from home.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. And congratulations once again, Connor.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. That was Connor Price taking the checkered flag out here after some great strategy and very fast speed. Next up, we're going to get our second place finisher, Christopher McCullough, on over, if I can find him. Yep, here we go. Hey, Chris, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
I gotcha.
Hey man, a great race for you. The highest finisher amongst those that took a pit stop. I know we saw you kind of get buried there for a while. We saw a lot of mid-pack wrecking and kind of just hard to navigate through it, but you were inevitably able to find your way up towards the front. And there with, just what I imagine is probably too many cautions for you to really make a run for the 28 there at the end. Do you want to talk us through the very last few laps of that race?
Yeah, first off, a little too eventful on my end. I made some mistakes, got in some people, so I want to apologize to Hunter. And then I had a self spin there. I just locked it down and turned left. I didn't want to overcorrect. So luckily, I didn't hit nobody there. But yeah, the leader had such an advantage on restarts. I was behind Nathan the whole first part of the race and second, and he was quick tonight. I don't think I had anything for him, but yeah, the leader had such an advantage on restarts. It took 4 or 5 laps to even get a chance to build momentum, and you kind of needed them to make a mistake. I didn't realize how huge of an advantage they had. Connor had a great strategy. We didn't have a long green flag run there for his tires to really make a difference. So once the temps build up, we were usually getting a caution. But yeah, we just drove hard there at the end. Um, I know me and Nathan got into it there at the end, but I think he just got pushed up by the 74 and just just arcing the corner and got into me. Luckily, I don't look like I moved up from my perspective. So, but yeah, it was just hard racing tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I gotta ask, I know we just talked to Connor and he said crew chief kind of told him 150 was the amount of laps he could make it on a tank of fuel under green. Did kind of not taking a pit stop at all ever cross your mind, or was it always kind of we're gonna take one and we're gonna try to fight back through the field?
Yeah, I mean, it was always on the table for me not to pit. I figured we'd be able to save. I figured it'd be close, but I figured that would have a good chance of being a winning strategy just because how many restarts I was in second place and just seeing the advantage the leader had. Like, I felt like, for 10 laps, you could hold that lead. Maybe not me because I killed my tires. That's why I decided to pit. I felt slow. But we had that incident under caution. I don't know what happened there. At the front, Connor actually got in that, but I got a little bit of right front damage, and ever since then I was just a little tighter. So, but yeah, I felt like that strategy could work if it played out like it did tonight. But who's to say? I feel like with my luck, whatever strategy I do, the opposite's going to happen. So it is what it is.
Absolutely. Moves on to the next race at Dover. Well, hopefully your good luck can continue as far as podiums go because you have I'm trying to do the math. I know you're at least top three in points right now. I'm gonna let Omar deal with that because I'm not very good at math. But congratulations on yet another podium out here. And anyone like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Yeah, I gotta thank Omar and Logan for dealing with all all uh, all these late nights on the post review. I know it's thankless, but I do appreciate the work they put into the league. And it's just these short tracks, man. I can't wait to get to some mile and a halves or bigger. Like you said, Dover next week. Hopefully, we can get some space and see how it goes. But I also got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. I got a long drive tomorrow for work, so I'll put you on and listen for the broadcast. But yeah, I got to thank these drivers. I know we had some run-ins and some hurt feelings, but everybody's a real good group of guys. So we'll get it together. Also got to thank my team. It's just Kenny over here, but got to thank them, or they might fire me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we appreciate it. I know we've called a lot of races for you and your team at MMS, so good to see you guys succeeding over here. And congratulations on the podium, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, gentlemen. Y'all hope y'all have a good night.
Hey, you too.
You as well.
Chris McCullough getting second place here in Weeknight Warriors Week 4 at Five Flags. Last interview I want to get in has been a fan favorite amongst the chat. We won't be seeing a face tattoo, Luke, unfortunately, but we will be seeing an interview because Aiden Stevens was able to get a podium finish.
Nicknamed the
So
man with the angel voice.
Was that a chat, or is that something
was-
you pulled out of your
Nope,
head?
that was a chat.
All right. Aiden Stevens, guys in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey man, what a race and what a finish. I mean, we saw a lot of different strategies play out there, and to be honest, I didn't really see
That was Henry.
I didn't really see Connors really working out, but it ended up working out. You had fresher tires. Do you think you really had anything for him, or do you think kind of you and Nathan's battle there kind of tore away any chance for the lead?
I think the battle for second place there probably had my tires down a little bit. I know I pitted on lap, I believe 150, and I was in sixth. All those guys in front of me are really hard to pass, so getting by them was a little bit of a challenge. While the 28 cars seemed to coast away and just be able to save.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I hear some of the fans in the back, and I gotta ask, we're going to Dover next week. Will there be another opportunity for a face tattoo potentially? And if so, do you think there's some good odds of you getting into victory lane and making that happen?
Henry, do you think there's a chance you get a face tattoo again? You think there's a chance you get another face tattoo next week?
I will get
Another?
if Aiden Steven wins Dover, I will get a face tattoo.
Oh
You heard it
boy.
here
Live,
first.
folks. I
better-
will get a face tattoo.
We better have a clip to show on stream for the next broadcast if it happens, though.
Yeah. Assuming a great race for Aiden Stevens at Dover, we'll be excited to see if that is held true on both ends. But congratulations on getting the podium out here tonight. It was a long race, and a lot happened. Not only between you, but between all 36 drivers out here. I'd love to see the post race interview, but unfortunately I'm tired as hell. So congratulations on the podium. Anyone like to shout out before we get you out of here?
Other than my team and my fans, Henry and Gavin, no.
I love you, Aiden.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Aiden, on the podium finish.
Thank you.
That was Aiden Stevens getting third place with fans in attendance, Luke. What a race.
Absolutely. And we ended the night with it was an event-filled race, a lot of the guys said it themselves there in those interviews. They summed up most of it out there, but we had a lot of incidents out there on the night, but overall, a very, very fun race. And a very interesting track out here that we got to see for the first time out here, and a very, very, a good effort from all the drivers out here tonight.
Absolutely. And just looking at our top 5 out here, it's going to be Price, McCullough, Stevens, Hummel, and Gross. But I can't wait for Dover, Luke. Honestly, I said before this race that this is going to be one of the most fun tracks of the series, but I think Dover might top it. And I know we're going to see at least a longer green flag run than we saw here tonight, I would have to say. So, great race here tonight. Thanks for everyone that came out. Huge thanks to Slightly Dangerous Racing. Great run there for Hummel getting 4th place, as well as Johnson in 16th. Huge thanks to them for, hopping on board and letting us do our thing here tonight. It's been a blast. Huge thanks to Omar and Logan for putting this on, and everyone else that makes this possible. And huge thanks to everyone that came out and watched us here tonight. This has been Ninth Gear Broadcasting. Anything else, Luke?
I think that's about it, Kevin. We'll see you guys all again next Tuesday once again at, I believe, 9 p.m., right?
Yep, 9 p.m. at Dover. We'll see you then.
Good night, race fans.
Peace.